Hey guys, we're back.
We're
And you know
back.
what? It's Black History Month. So
Yeah.
we're going to talk about it. Leon, what are your children saying about Black History Month? What
Yeah.
are the young people that you know
Yeah.
saying about Black History? Or do they even know it's Black History Month? How about that?
So I got 5 kids.
Ooh, one, two, three, four, five. Five, y'all. Five.
5 kids, and they know absolutely nothing about Black History Month. They
Mm.
don't speak about that in school. It hasn't been mentioned, talked about. There's been no videos or nothing. I think one of my kids saw something, a picture of Martin Luther King. But other than that, there has been absolutely no mention
No
of Black
mention.
history. This is just February.
Look at that. Now, I'm going to tell you. Jackson, son, he's 8. I said, hey, what's going on for Black History Month? He said, what you mean? We're doing multicultural month.
Multicultural month. Yes.
Month. They're actually having a dinner.
A dinner.
Yes. For you to come out to talk about your multicultural
What they having?
experience.
Chitlins and fried greens, tomatoes or something?
They did send a picture home with Martin Luther King on it that said, I have a dream.
Well, I think that's what they want you to do. They want you to keep dreaming. They want you to keep dreaming. Y'all keep dreaming. And maybe one day, it didn't happen for King. It didn't happen for him, but maybe if you keep dreaming, one day.
So the reason why I wanted to talk about it and flip the script that way is because I realize a lot of our Black children have no clue, idea whatsoever that this is Black History Month and that we should be celebrating the contributions of African Americans, Black people, of what we did for this country we call the United States of America.
Well, you know what? You know what I did as a and I wasn't even thinking about Black History Month, but about a month or so ago, I started thinking about, because they're erasing everything about our history.
Yes.
And I wanted to do something to try to make sure that these younger kids know something. So I did go to Amazon and I bought a book on 101 African American inventors. And so we've been going through that. One person a day. One person a day. One of the kids read about just that one person each day. And so it's 101 inventors. And I got that from Amazon.
Okay. Yeah, we are exposing him to who Martin Luther King was, why he was important. We exposed him to the National Black Anthem the other day.
No.
He said, what is that?
What is that?
I said, what do you mean?
Yeah.
Now here's the crazy thing. You know who Taylor Swift is?
Yes.
He know Taylor Swift song.
Right.
But nowhere in school they talking about we shall overcome someday.
Yeah. Well,
so when he heard it, I said, so what do you think about this? Remember, he's 8. He said, oh, it's all right.
He doesn't know what's behind that. He doesn't.
Yes. I said, does it move you? Do you feel anything? It's okay. And so I realized that it's going to be very, very important, that we have a culture and that to immerse them in the Black experience. And we got,
Yeah, it's different because we've experienced it. We experienced it with our parents. We know more about it firsthand. I remember when, as a kid, one of my first memories was watching my parents watch in black and white of Martin Luther King give a speech on TV. And then my next memory is when he was assassinated. And I remember my seeing my mother and my father cry for the first time. So as a child, those are my first memories. And so growing up in the 60s and seeing the killings during the 60s, whether it's Kennedy, John F. Kennedy, his brother Robert Kennedy, Malcolm X, obviously, Martin Luther King. Remember, Martin Luther King's mother was assassinated. So many things that happened. I mean, I call the 60s the killing years because that's when they wiped out all the leadership during that 10-year period. They just wiped out all the leadership. And because of the young people's movement that really pushed through the civil rights movement, that's why in the 70s, they brought in the drugs to destroy the brains of the young people. They realized they could never have young people involved in the movement because young people, they don't have any fear.
Yes.
And so they can sit at the lunch counters and stuff like that because they didn't have nothing to lose. They didn't have any houses to lose. They didn't have any jobs to lose. These were teenagers, so they could get out there. And so in the 70s and 80s, it was a concerted effort by the Republican Party to destroy the minds of the youth.
Bringing crack cocaine in. And
remember, they were selling Iran-Contra. They were selling weapons. They were. I mean, come on now.
My most unique experience of how I remember Black history was Thurgood Marshall. That his story was so compelling to me, it made me want to learn more about the contribute. Yeah, you learn about Martin Luther King. Well, back then, and see, even then in the 70s, 70s, 80s, we still talked about Dr. King and Malcolm X, the boys. Now you ask a teenager today, what is a major speech or what did Martin Luther King do? They have no context, no clue. They just know that I get out of school for a day so I can play some video games.
A lot of people talk about King now, especially around the holidays and stuff like that. And they talk about the mistake. The mistake that King made was stopping segregation. We needed to be segregated. We needed to be separate. We needed to be separate but equal. We need to be separate but equal. So it wasn't really King. It was Malcolm had the better plan. It was to be separate. A good example of that is just the other day, a week ago, when they shut down DEI, and all these stores and stuff started getting rid of it, and Target got rid of it. Well, people stopped shopping at Target. So here's the power of the purse. Black folks stopped shopping at Target. Now Target is rolling that back. Now Target is trying to come back with some form of DEI. And so, because people stopped shopping, they stopped shopping at Target. See, what killed King, it wasn't, ending segregation. They didn't care nothing about that because ending segregation means you took your money and went to these white stores and you spent it. It made them richer. It benefited them. And it hurt us because by us coming together like that, we got all those bad habits. We got all hooked up in that craziness and that stupidness. Whereas when we were separate, we were learning about our history. We grew up about our history. We were being strong in who we were. So the mistake was to come together. That was the mistake.
You said something because I've heard people say this over and over again. How long does the actual dollar that we spend stay in our community versus other communities?
Other communities, it goes around 6-7 times.
So when an Asian person spends their money, it stays in the Asian community 30 days.
30 days.
When the Jewish community spends their money, it stays in the community 20 days. When white America spends their money, It stays in the community, in the white community, 17 days. You don't want to know how long ours stays in there.
1 day.
1 day.
And the reason it's 1 day is because we don't own anything.
Day. Yes.
We don't. We
You know
we don't
what?
own any stores.
You hit it right. It does that because most of us shop at businesses that's outside of our community due to there's not that many black owned businesses or black owned banks or
Right.
black owned hospitals or black owned grocery stores or black owned tea shops. That we got a hair salon, we got a barber shop. We don't sell any commerce or food or anything of that nature. Whereas, matter of fact, I'm in Indiana, y'all. But you know what? 5 blocks away, there is an Asian market that they can go in and buy all their food from their particular country and be
Yes.
able to eat. Matter of fact, right beside it, there's an Indian marketplace
Yes.
that they can go in and buy all their food. And
Yes.
so basically, if you think about food wise, just think about food wise, we spend a lot of money in America on food. So being able to get your cultural food and spend with your people makes sense.
It does.
But we ain't got that. Our best bet, we got a Harold's chicken. Heck, we don't own Popeyes or KFC, but we love chicken.
And
You can
it's not by accidents. It's not by accident that all the gas stations are owned by Middle Eastern people, and that
No.
this is not an accident. It's not an accident that the stores are all this Chinese food, this and Indian this, and that's not an accident. All the subways are ran, but this is not an accident. This is what's being given to them, these opportunities to have businesses where they can raise families and send their kids to college and be successful and doctors and lawyers and all these type of things. It's for them. Can you imagine if all those type of places were owned by Black people? Then we would be sending our children, we would have generational wealth. And we would be able to send our families and we would be able to do all those things. So all those people, matter of fact, a little while ago, I was coming back with 2 of my kids and I stopped at the cleaners and I had to drop off some clothes. And when I got back in the car, my little man said, hey, that was the Asian woman. She's Chinese. I said, you know that Chinese lady right there? She's a multi-millionaire. That woman right there, she's working hard, her and her husband. They're multi-millionaires.
Yes.
In that dry cleaners right there. Every time I go there, I'm spending over $100, and I'm going there weekly. And so I'm just saying that this is all. It's not by accident that this is happening. And we need to let our kids know that too, because, the kids are at a point now where they see all these people other than us, and it's normal to them.
Now,
So
see,
because it's normal,
oh my
remember,
goodness.
you can only be what you can see.
See, it's interesting that you say that, because we actually drive 45 minutes that go to a Black dentist.
Yes, that's wonderful.
Yes,
That's wonderful.
Because we realize you don't get to see us in these professions that much. Being able to do that, or find a clinician who's happen to be African American, it's hard. When the last time you saw a Black family doctor?
In my lifetime, and I'm 62, I've never had a Black doctor. I've had a Black dentist. When I lived in Chicago, our family dentist was Black, was a Black woman.
Yes, but think about it, right? Like a Black doctor. I can 53, can't think of a time. Had a Black nurse.
Oh well, yeah, definitely. Yes.
But a doctor, no.
No.
Dentist, no.
Yeah.
No, not even a dentist. And
That's just like
so
I saw one of those these people was on this airplane and something happened on the airplane and was somebody was having some type of medical problem and this guy, black guy, they was asking if was anybody a doctor and he said he was a doctor, but the one lady there said no, you're not a doctor. She just flat out and told him, say you're not a doctor. And they didn't let him work on this person. Fortunately, it wasn't life threatening, but he could not work on this person because this white woman could not believe that he was a doctor.
yes.
And so, because they can't comprehend that.
No. They can believe us as basketball players, rappers,
Oh, that's entertaining.
football players, entertainers.
Yes.
But
Yes.
so far as being a doctor, a lawyer, a physician,
Anything
I've seen a pharmacist.
Well, yes. I think one of the things you have to think about how expensive it is to be a doctor.
Oh,
I mean, look at the amount of schooling that's required for that. We have the intelligence, the genius necessary.
Mhm.
But because we're locked out of the money, we don't own any businesses. Because we're locked out of the money, it limits how far we can go. And that has been our story from the beginning. That's why what we need to be teaching our kids, we need to teach them about where we came from and all of that to let them know that there's nothing that we can't do. But our main focus should be all about economics.
I was getting ready to go there. I'm like, what do you think we need to teach this next generation? And it's about financial literacy. It's about economics. It's about knowing what your credit score is, knowing how to use your credit score, knowing how to use wealth. Like I said, guys, if you haven't, you know what, I'm gonna put a link up here so you guys can know. We actually did a show about finances, what we do, what we learned as kids about finances, and we kind of realized that we didn't learn nothing. That, and it wasn't our parents' fault because our parents only taught us what they knew. But we are at a point where it's very important that we talk about economics.
It's the only way that we're going to eventually come out of this situation because money equals power. With money, you can buy influence. And so you have to have money. You know, the Bible says you have to have money. You know, that's in the word. And it's not the root, and money is not the root of all evil. That's never been the case. It's the love of money. So, but money is a tool. It's a tool that you need to survive. You have to have it here.
Yeah. And you have to be able to leverage it. And I think knowing your history, knowing that, hey, we struggled, we need to teach them that the struggle is real. Even now at our ages. It's amazing because your kids probably look at you, look at Carmen, look at the house, look how good we got it going on. Not realizing that it only takes one thing, them trying to take away a job or anything, and that without understanding.
And you have to drum that into them as well. You have to tell them about that emergency fund and being able to have, so if something happened, my saying is, if you're ready, you don't have to get ready. And so when something happens, you need to be already ready for that. You don't need to be. The main problem we have is something happened. Now we all in a rush.
Now we're trying to get ready.
Oh my goodness. I did a show on my channel where I talked about you need to get a lawyer now. You need to go out. Now is the time to take your time, go find a lawyer. And you say, well, I don't need a lawyer. Yes, you do. Because now is the time you find a lawyer. Because when you need a lawyer, It's too late.
It's too late.
You need to have a phone number that you can call.
Yes.
And you call this one number and someone comes out to wherever you at when you need a lawyer.
Yes. Even if you have to pay the retainer, even if they say I need $500, it's better to have paid it and not you need it today, but have it for tomorrow.
It's insurance. We pay insurance all the time.
We wanted to take the time to talk about Black history from a different perspective.
What's left of it?
What's left of it?
Find a show on Netflix.
That's a great idea.
Paramount, but find something. Sit down, have a family night, cook some popcorn, and watch one of these shows. The best show to watch, though, is Malcolm X.
And actually, talk to him about what they saw, how they felt, and being able to relate to them, because they will. And especially now in this new America, shameless plug, guys. I had to plug the a show.
Put a link to the New America show.
New America Again show. They will face discrimination. They will face racism in some way, shape, or form. Yeah. I hate to say it, but that is the reality that we live in.
If you Black in America, this is what you got to deal with.
That's what you got to deal with. And if you're a black man in America, it don't matter how old you are. You can be 90.
But also with that truth, though, is that being Black anywhere in the world, nothing can stop you.
Yes.
You have dominion over the earth. So nothing can stop you. People can put all types of things in front of you, but nothing really can stop you because everything is yours.
So remember, guys, Black History Month. Tell your kids. Again, you're watching what? Now
what's happening?